What would you do if the person you loved the most came back after breaking your entire world? It's been a long time since Omni-Man left Earth, but the damage he left behind never really went away. The world may have moved on, cities rebuilt, and people tried to forget. But for Debbie Grayson, time never truly healed anything. Every room in her house still holds memories. Every small detail reminds her of a life that once felt perfect, but turned out to be built on lies. She wasn't just betrayed by a hero. She was betrayed by her husband. The man she trusted, the man she built her life with, the man she believed in more than anyone else, was never who she thought he was. And that kind of pain doesn't just fade away. It stays. It grows. It changes you. At first, there was anger. Pure, burning anger. How could he do this? How could he pretend for so many years? But as time passed, that anger slowly turned into something heavier. Something harder to deal with. Silence, loneliness, questions that never got answers. Because deep down, no matter how much she tried to hate him, a part of her still remembered the man she loved. Meanwhile, Invincible has shown us that Omni-Man's journey didn't end when he left. Out there in the universe, he faced battles, loss, and consequences. He wasn't the same unstoppable figure anymore. Something changed in him. Maybe it was guilt. Maybe it was regret. Or maybe, for the first time, he started to understand what he had truly lost. And now, after everything, their paths are about to cross again. Not in a world-ending fight. Not in chaos or destruction, but in a quiet, personal moment, where words hurt more than punches, and silence says more than anything else. Because this isn't just a reunion. It's a moment where love, pain, and truth finally collide. At the moment doesn't begin with noise or action. It begins with silence. Debbie Grayson is standing still, almost frozen, as if her body refuses to accept what her eyes are seeing. Because right there, in front of her, is Omni-Man. Not as a memory, not as a nightmare, but real, alive, back. For a few seconds, nothing happens. No words, no movement. Just the weight of everything they'd been through hanging in the air. You can almost feel her heart racing. Not out of love, but out of shock. This is the man who destroyed her life. And yet, he's also the man she once trusted more than anyone. Omni-Man doesn't step forward right away. That alone says a lot. This isn't the same confident, powerful figure who once spoke like he owned the world. There's hesitation now. His posture feels different, less certain, like he knows he has no right to be here. And yet, he came anyway. Debbie finally reacts, but not with tears, not with relief. Her face tightens, her eyes filled with anger that never really left. You can see the questions in her mind, the pain rising back to the surface. She doesn't run to him. She doesn't welcome him. Instead, she stands her ground, like she's protecting herself from breaking all over again. When she speaks, her voice isn't loud, but it cuts deep. Every word carries years of hurt. She doesn't need to shout. The silence between each sentence is enough to show how much damage he caused. And for the first time, Omni-Man doesn't interrupt. He listens. That's what makes this moment so powerful. Because this isn't a fight with fists. It's a fight with truth. Omni-Man tries to say something. Maybe to explain, maybe to apologize. But even he seems unsure where to begin. How do you explain years of lies? How do you ask for forgiveness after something like that? And Debbie. She's not ready to give him anything. Not understanding. Not comfort. Not even anger in its full form. Because what she feels is deeper than that. It's pain that hasn't healed. The distance between them feels bigger than ever. Even though they're standing just a few steps apart. And in that moment, one thing becomes clear. This reunion isn't about fixing what was broken, Asterisk, it's about facing it. This is where everything becomes heavier. Not because of what is said, but because of what both of them are feeling inside. Asterisk, Omni-Man stands there, not as a conqueror, but as a man who has finally started to understand the damage he caused. For the first time, he doesn't look powerful. He looks lost. His voice, when he speaks again, is slower, careful, like every word matters now. Because deep down, he knows this might be the only chance he gets. Asterisk, you can feel the weight of guilt on him. Not just for what he did to Earth, but for what he did to her. Because out of everything he destroyed, this is the one thing that truly meant something. And now, standing in front of Debbie Grayson, he finally sees it clearly. Asterisk, but Debbie. She's fighting a completely different battle. Asterisk, on the outside, she looks strong, controlled, like she's holding everything together. But inside, it's chaos. Because no matter how much pain he caused, she can't erase the past. She can't just forget the years they spent together. The quiet moments, the normal life, the love that once felt real. Asterisk, and that's what makes this so painful. Asterisk, because she's not just facing the man who lied to her. She's facing the memories of the man she loved. And those two versions don't match anymore. Asterisk, you can see it in her eyes. The conflict, the hesitation. For a split second, it feels like she might soften, like she might let her guard down. But then reality hits again. The truth of what he did crashes back in. And that moment disappears. Asterisk, she steps back. Not just physically, but emotionally. Asterisk, that small movement says everything. Asterisk, it shows that no matter what he says, no matter how much he may have changed, the distance between them isn't something that can be fixed with words alone. Asterisk, Omni-Man notices it too. And for the first time, he doesn't try to close that gap. Because now he understands. He doesn't get to decide how this ends. Asterisk, this isn't about his redemption. Asterisk, it's about her pain. Asterisk, and maybe, for the first time in his life, he finally accepts that this moment, as quiet as it is, could change everything. Asterisk, because this reunion isn't just about the past. It's about what comes next. Asterisk, Debbie Grayson doesn't give him the answer he wants. There's no forgiveness, no emotional release, just distance, and a silence that feels heavier than anything said before. And that silence tells us one important thing: this story isn't over. Asterisk, for Omni-Man, this could be the turning point. Not a clean redemption, but the start of one. Because now, he's no longer running from what he did. He's facing it. And that changes how he will act moving forward. He may still be powerful, but now he carries something new, the need to prove he's not the same man anymore. Asterisk, but proving that won't be easy. Asterisk, because Debbie may never fully trust him again. Asterisk, and honestly, she doesn't have to. Asterisk, that's what makes this so real. This isn't a simple story where everything gets fixed. Some damage stays. Some wounds don't heal. And Season 4 might explore that in a deeper way than ever before. Asterisk, then there's Mark, the heart of Invincible. Asterisk, this reunion doesn't just affect Debbie. It affects him too. Because now, he's caught between two worlds again. The father he once looked up to, and the truth he can't ignore. If Omni-Man is truly changing, Mark will be the one forced to decide if he believes it. Asterisk, and that decision could shape the entire future of the story. Asterisk, there's also a bigger question rising here. Asterisk, what if a new threat is coming? Asterisk, something bigger than all of them. Asterisk, if that happens, the idea of them standing on the same side again becomes possible. Not because they've forgiven each other, but because they have no other choice. And that kind of uneasy alliance could be one of the most intense parts of the season. Asterisk, because fighting together is one thing. Asterisk, trusting each other again is something else completely. Asterisk, and as this scene fades out, one feeling stays behind. Asterisk, not closure, but tension. Asterisk, because this reunion didn't fix the past. Asterisk it opened the door to a future that could either bring them closer or tear them apart for good.